So, welcome everyone back to this next episode of Embodied Integrative Healing. So, this episode is actually part 2. We're continuing a conversation that we had with Marta Burton. And in this episode, with this beautiful conversation, we're going to explore parts work, bringing all those parts back home to ourselves, expanding our capacity for safety and excitement. We explore divine embodiment, using our bodies as a sensing instrument for God. And we also explore the deeper meaning of awareness by bringing awareness into experience without separation. So moving from watching into being. So let's continue this conversation. This practice and an idea of like expanding your capacity for safety and expanding I was really hit by like expanding your capacity for excitement, because I have this very similar, if not the same, kind of challenge that I've been working through of like getting really excited about things and then getting really scared and fearful about so much excitement and kind of feeling overwhelmed and then just avoiding it. And so
Yes.
I'm really interested in if you might share more about like expanding the capacity for like excitement and safety and all that.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think it's been huge in my life, and there's just been a giant shift in the last 6 months
Mm-hmm.
for me. In first, it was me discerning, like, wait, I feel excitement like terror in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And as I became, as my nervous system was healing, so it wasn't always terrified, I started wanting to numb and only stay regulated, right? Like I'm calm. I didn't want to like move my body really aggressively and get my heart rate up even. Or if I got excited about something, I would immediately be like, I need to meditate.
Yeah.
How can I shut it down? And so I became really conscious as I was studying polyvagal theory and the nervous system. I realized that that's very common. It's very, because it's sort of the same sensations in the body. Only if you have some trauma in your body where, here's an example. I've seen it with children happening where a child's getting really, really excited and they're having so much fun and they're playing and they're laughing, and all of a sudden it goes too far, maybe for the parent, or maybe they actually have run too close to the cliff or almost run in the street, and their parents like, rah, screams at them out of fear, right? Or the parent's just frustrated, like, you're too much. So they're in this joy and all of a sudden they're terrified. So then these two things, the child was in, let me find the right language. The child was in a parasympathetic state, which is rest and digest. It's also like play and be social and create. But you're in a safe place. They were in a safe state, having joy and energy. And all of a sudden, bam, unsafe.
Right.
And they go into the fight, flight, freeze, shame, all those things. And that gets stuck in some of our bodies because of however that undigested experience happened.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I think the pathway to healing that is we've got to recover and melt those frozen parts. If it's frozen, or if you're in flight, or if sorry, I can't find words. If you're doing one of those trauma responses,
right?
Play dead, freeze, run, pretend, fawn, make everybody happy around you to be safe. We've got work to do with just healing those wounds and bringing those parts of ourselves into safety and healing the nervous system from constant hypervigilance. And then I think for me, at least, the path was building that safety in my body and then slowly building capacity for joy. But it wasn't even joy. It was just building capacity for, oh, I have an idea. What's the first small step that the most apprehensive part of me would be willing to take?
Right.
Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
then you slowly build. I started building capacity with yoga when I realized, like, wow, my body's really strong. I'd been using yoga primarily to help me survive deep anxiety and freeze. And so about 6 or 8 months ago, I really realized, like, it's time to activate myself in yoga more and more and more. So not necessarily change my whole practice, but my perspective was, now I'm building capacity for vitality moving through my body. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna engage my muscles more and more. And that really, really helped. And I was walking faster and I was starting to, like, jump around and get my heart rate up, but reminding myself, like, you're safe. It's okay to have your heart beat more faster. So I came at it physically, plus through, therapeutic practices and ongoing, like, healing those parts of myself. But I think it helps to understand that it's our system, when it's doing that, it just doesn't know the difference. And so, of course, we're going to maybe have this great idea and then not do it because we just suddenly tipped ourselves over into an unsafe state in the body, which is why I think a lot of, like, traditional coaching and, like, changing your behavior and those things, that if it's overriding what the system is actually experiencing, we're just creating more unsafety. We're bullying. We're now bullying the body.
I think that, go ahead. Yeah, go.
Or using self-talk, saying, I'm safe. When our body doesn't believe it, it's, some people call it, like, you're gaslighting your body. You're not listening. You're denying what's happening in it. And so, yeah, maybe you can force yourself to do brave things, but I'm not going to enjoy it if I'm forcing it. But if I'm just taking the next safe, I like this line, if there's enough safety, just enough safety to take the next step. That's how we can build capacity. Because then, yes, taking the next step or making the brave phone call or, buying the ticket to Colombia, once you've done it, you just built capacity and you do feel that, like, yeah, I could do that. Like yesterday, I took a 2.5-hour trip to go get a massage in Medellin. And I walked down a mountain. I took a bus. I walked some more. I got a little bit lost. I took another bus. I got to my massage. Now I know I can do that.
Right.
And I'm going to go get another, amazing treatment from this person next week. And now I'm not scared. I'm like, I was scared yesterday. I was like, shit, this could, like, so many things could go wrong. And my Spanish is terrible and I'm, navigating a really crazy city. But I was safe enough to do that.
I love that. Safe enough. I love that.
Safe enough.
Because it oftentimes it can feel like, well, this is kind of scary and dangerous, so it's just not an option. It's got to be totally safe for me to be able to be all right. I got to be totally safe, and and yeah, in life that's just not realistic a lot of the time. Although I think it's really helpful to try and make safe circumstances for yourself whenever you can. But yeah, sometimes it's just like, yeah, you just need safe enough, like. Yeah, it's so helpful to kind of bring in the awareness and notice, like, okay, this is not completely dangerous. This is maybe kind of scary, but there's some safety here. There's, like, enough where I can kind of, like you said, take one little step and, and then now I'm all right. And okay, maybe I can take the next step and now I'm all right here. And I love that. Yeah.
There's something else what you said just reminded me of one of my other teachers that I love her work so much, and she offers so much for free. Her name is Linda Tai.
Mm-hmm.
She talks about trauma and grief, and she talks about the dignity of risk. When people have been traumatized and it's frozen or stuck in their systems, and has not only has shaped their systems, this healing process can allow them to have the dignity of risk, of taking risk. And I just love that, because when we're terrified all the time, we don't have the dignity of getting to take chances. And I think there's a lot of compassion to be offered to ourselves and others when we're not taking risks, to be like, there's a reason. It's actually not my fault.
Yeah.
It's actually really not a fault in me. I have adapted because at some point back there, maybe multiple times, I was not safe. And my body now is operating under an assumption that I'm not safe. And so, of course, I may be failing to thrive. I may be failing to take action on my greatness because my system, it doesn't have the capacity.
It's like when you're in that, when your nervous system is challenged and traumatized like that, small things actually feel like risks. That's been my experience. Like that, like just driving to the grocery store feels like a risk. Like that feels like that's like somebody, like, I'm gonna, go gamble or something, or I'm gonna, like jump out of a plane and take a risk. It can feel just like that. Like, this is like, so it's like giving yourself compassion for where your nervous system's at. Like, maybe for you, that was a huge thing that you drove to the grocery store, and you were so brave and built so much safety by doing that. Just as an example,
the groceries, I can't tell you how many people I now know who find going grocery shopping absolutely paralyzing, exhausting, drained all day after grocery shopping. And okay, here's another thing we could talk about. We are actually supposed to be this sensitive, Jordan. We are this body was built to be the most subtle thing, entity, to experience every bit of life. It was built to sense. If we didn't sense, we couldn't live.
It wouldn't be a body. That's kind of like what a body is.
We wouldn't be a body. We couldn't see. We couldn't smell. We couldn't stay oriented to space. We'd be running into things. Where, our entire body is like, I keep still looking for the metaphor. It's more than a vessel. It's more than a temple. It's more than, to me, I'm like, my body is the experiencer of everything. It is not only the experiencer, it is the creator of my experience, and it digests my experience. It's everything. It's my only way. Yeah. Okay. I know you got something there.
So there's a spiritual teacher who I follow a lot and really admire a lot. His name's Adyashanti, and he said that our bodies are a sensing instrument for the divine. Basically, like a sensing instrument of God. It's like, it's how God experiences life is through human and other bodies. So it's like, it is just like a sensation instrument for divinity. So I'm just feeling, as you're saying that, like, wow.
It's not, and it's not just the sensing, it's the digesting. It makes sense out of what it has sensed. And then it creates.
Wow.
It And it can also witness itself. Like, we're not just, we talk a lot about witness consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's awesome. Witness consciousness is great. But you know what's even better? Being it. Being the experiencer. And we get to go between the two. We get to like witness, and then we get to go inside and actually just experience. And that's why I love body work so much, and this somatic inquiry and experiencing, and yoga and meditation. We're allowing ourselves to both witness and then step into pure sensing.
Wow. I just got this, I see what you're saying. It's like what can happen with kind of the witnessing witnessing consciousness practice. It can almost create a separation where it's kind of like you're apart from everything looking, And what I'm getting from what you're saying is like that separation disappearing, where it's literally like the experience just happening, and you're still very like present and like way present and aware, but like not as like something that's kind of like apart.
You're not watching. And this was really important to me recently, because I was sharing the bad stuff that happened in the basement. And realized in one of my sessions with my amazing therapist, Ashley Mull, I'll call her out. In one of my sessions with her, I was sharing, and I hadn't realized it, but this is another thing about being with another human. I realized while I was talking to her that when this thing happened to me, I left my body and I was watching what was happening to me and what I was being made to do. And I realized that ever since I was 7, I've been watching myself, not being myself.
Oh my gosh.
I've been trying to be myself, and I think I've still been myself, but I've always been watching myself like I was on a stage. And, in fact, I spent 30 years on stages.
Mm-hmm.
And which, strangely enough, was a place I could be very authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very tricky.
Yeah.
So when I had a psychedelic experience where I realized I could witness myself, but I could also, the itness of me, the actual beingness of me was saying to the witness, no, come here and be it with me. Be the pure potentiality, be the like throbbing, longing, yearning plasma. Mm-hmm. And I was like able to like go from watching and being like, I was watching this magnificent essence of me, but then the essence was like, be it. And then I would relax and I would be in the itness of consciousness or whatever that plasma thing was that I was. And I was like, that's when I realized like, I'm the experiencer. And that's the word that came to me. I'm like, I'm the experiencer. And then I would like create something. I would create a whole existence through being the experiencer. And the experiencer is just full of this longing to experience and to be held. And that's my cosmology, baby.
Wow, that is really hitting me. That is so deep. Wow, I feel like we need to make that into a quote. Like, don't just witness yourself, be yourself.
And maybe,
mm-hmm.
Yes, maybe what the witness we need the witness, right? That's how we become a conscious. Mm-hmm. And really what we're talking about is non-duality, right? Yeah, where the witness becomes the itness. I just had never experienced it before and realized it. The witness becomes the itness.
Witness becomes the itness.
That's original.
That's the quote. The witness becomes the itness.
Witness becomes the itness. And now that I said that, I lost the thread of what I was saying, but it was really, I got it back. Mm-hmm. Witnessing is essential. It's an essential practice so that for many, many reasons, because it gets us to the itness, but it also can show us, like when we're out in the world, being kind of an ordinary reality person, we develop that witness, and then we can start to notice, like we did at the beginning of our talk, when I was able to notice, oh, I'm doing that thing where my body starts bracing because I'm so excited and I'm rushing and I feel like there's not enough time. So through the witness, we're able to develop the capacity to go, oh yeah, I'm watching myself and I can see that this is happening. And now I can choose to take a moment to return to the itness through this inquiry into what's happening and putting my hands on myself or going within for a moment. And then we can return to sort of being activated, but with more of our whole itness.
Wow, that is just really hitting me.
Me too.
That's it. Because I just wonder for people listening, there's probably so many of us that have had trauma that being ourself is this like fear around that. Kind of like the witness is like kind of quote unquote more safe because it's kind of like not in it. And then I'm really kind of verbalizing my experience. And then, but like really just being myself and really being in the experience without kind of holding back somehow or being apart somehow. There's some fear around that of like, yeah, I'm just noticing, like, I can see that's a place to work with. Yeah.
And I think the witness, I think the true witness doesn't have judgment. I think most of us have a watcher, a part of us that's more like a critic that's watching.
Yeah.
And when I say I've been watching myself since I was young, it was much more of a critic that was watching, right? And I think we all have, because we grow up in a society and a culture, and we're taught norms and what's expected to be a civilized person, we do have a watcher of ourselves. Think about it. People go, watch yourself. Oh, I need to watch myself. Like not to cross a line. And we do all mask in order to survive this world. We are animals in bodies that can get, run over or kicked out of the tribe. So it's very normal that we would be watching ourselves to make sure we behaved appropriately enough to not be kicked out or run over by a truck.
Right.
And I think as we learn to witness ourselves through like meditation or yoga nidra or these kinds of witnessing without judgment, that's a whole process in and of itself. That's a whole nother conversation, I think, too, about witnessing without judgment, witnessing with allowing. These are all such important processes, or at least have been in my life and my journey.
Oh my gosh, yes. I feel the same. Like I'm just noticing like these like like the true witness, kind of the non-judgmental just awareness. And it's like almost like another type of awareness, maybe, of like then being yourself, like the experiencer, like you're talking about. It's almost like the awareness in a deeper place, maybe, or more embodied awareness. It's maybe a way of saying it. I'm just kind of noticing these two, because I'm like a huge fan. Anyone who listens to this podcast realizes I'm a huge fan of awareness, just in general. I just like love it so much. It's just like so, like, kind of part of my approach is like awareness is what heals. It's like it's the healing is awareness, that formless presence. That's where like life energy is at, the chi or prana. That's where the transformation and the wisdom, it's like, it's in awareness. Awareness is everything. It's just like a ocean of healing that just heals. And I kind of feel like my job as a healer practitioner is just trying to find ways to help people get to that And if somehow they can get to that, that just heals it. Whatever it is, it gets healed. And then the quote unquote hard part is like getting there, getting to that ocean of healing awareness. And I'm just kind of sensing what you're talking about, Marta, is kind of like that awareness in these different places, quote unquote places, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think awareness, that's a really good word. It's a really good word. Awareness feels, it feels connected to the itness that I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it might even be the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what I notice about,
yeah.
go ahead.
I think something for me about when I'm talking about the itness,
yeah,
the itness has substance to it, where awareness doesn't have substance. It just has, it's bigger even than, I think awareness holds this plasmic, creative, yearning piece. I think awareness holds that.
Yeah.
Even though the itness is also vast, and the itness could like keep expanding and still be held in the awareness.
I feel that too. It's almost,
yeah. I'm just making that up right now. I'm like, I don't know.
No, that feels right to me. That really kind of feels like almost like awareness is just the ground of everything. What's always kind of behind everything. And then like the itness is sometimes you might hear like the I am, like the
yes.
Like it's way more subtle than just like our thoughts and feelings, but it's still kind of like something that's appeared, quote unquote, in awareness in a sense. And like you said, it wants to like, yeah, experience and be and all that.
Yeah. I think the itness, it's more like it has the pulsation of life within the awareness.
Ooh.
It has the energy of creation where the awareness just maybe holds it all.
Ooh, yeah. Uh-huh. I feel that 100%. That's like the way I've been describing it is kind of like there's awareness and then there's the life energy or the chi or prana. And I feel like they're like two sides of a coin or like you're saying, like the awareness holds that. It's like if there's awareness there, then that life energy, the itness it's there. It's what makes life and not just vast emptiness. It's what makes it like I want to say thing. I think of a better word, but it's like a thing that happens, something that actually happens and you experienced, and like the vitality. And,
yes.
Yeah.
Life is it's a happening. And it is that. It's like my experience of this throbbing plasma potentiality really, that's what's got me hooked. I'm like, it's a pulsation. It feels like, what do we call it in yoga? The pulsation of life. I can't think of the right word, but like it's fire.
Spanda?
Yes, spanda. Yeah. It's that pulsation. It's fiery. It's like plasmic fire, energy, electrical. Like for me in this psychedelic journey, it was like, it was like, there was so much energy in it that could just create.
Oh yeah.
Like it would sort of turn and I was on a planet, in a world, in a life, complete and whole. And then I could like go back into the plasmic unformed and then sort of just a split second, less than a second, just into another like world. And I'm like, I'm doing that. I was like, I'm the creator. I'm doing that. It just requires the impulse. That's the word, the impulse.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, I think we have it all figured out pretty much. So
answers of life, mysteries of life solved. Come listen to this episode, get the
all
mysteries
done.
of life solved. You are just vast awareness, and you are just creating all realities and experiences through this plasma expander. And there we go. So there you have it. Mysteries of Life solved. But we actually do have a little bit more to discuss with Marta. We have one more part to this discussion. Part 3 will be the next episode, where we will dive into parts work, but specifically with these parts that often don't want to be seen, that are not fun to look at, not fun to talk about maybe. And these parts related to addiction. We're going to get right and open and talking about addiction. And we're going to look at some somatic work, how somatic work heals so directly. So please join us for that episode, and we will see you soon. I also do want to let you all know that this podcast is supported by listener support. So you'll see on the podcast episode an option to make a monthly contribution. And there's many different amounts you can choose from, even as low as, say, about $3. And all of that really helps just to make the podcast continue and to support us as we're doing this work here. So everyone who contributes, we appreciate you very much.